What is going on, everybody? It's Big K Crypto here. Hope you're all doing well. Now, I was going to be doing a different video today. I was going to be doing a video on core number compounding and an update on that, but I'll be doing that hopefully tomorrow. Today, I wanted to do something that was a bit more important. It's been something on the top of my head that I've been wanting to do for a while, and that is keeping on top of your crypto security and keeping your security as tight as possible, guys. I mean, you're only as strong as your weakest link, right? So you want to keep things as strong as possible all the way through the chain. Now, I'm not going to be able to talk about everything that I do because it's just going to make this video very long. I'm not, in fact, and of course, I'm not going to talk about all the different things you can do because, well, this is a very, very vast subject. But I'm going to talk about some major points and some important things that I guess, you know, are quite important to start with at least, right? And I know a lot of you are going to watch this video and know a lot of this or most of it, but maybe it might just be a reminder to you to kind of just up your security a little bit or just update it or whatever it is. Or, you know, there might be some newbies to crypto right now that might have made a bit of crypto and they just want to keep it secure. All right, so let's get straight into it. Now, none of this is financial advice, guys, obviously. Right, I'm not going to really be talking about any kind of platforms anyway, but nor is it any technical advice, right? If you want computer IT tech, go and find that elsewhere. These are just my own thoughts, opinions, and experiences as usual. So why the video, guys? Why the video? Well, of course, we know we're in this bull run. I mean, Bitcoin's at almost 45k. It was higher earlier, and of course, Ethereum's over 1700, and even shitcoins have been doing really well. So people have been making money in crypto, and hope you are one of them that is listening and watching this video. And even if you haven't, even if you're just hodling, whatever it is, you want to keep your crypto as secure as possible. So I guess the first place to start, because of course I'm not doing this with a script as normal, is going to be this, right? Let's look at this. So Ledger is just one of the many hardware wallets you can kind of get out there on the market. And the reason I'm going to start with this is because I think a lot of people start off getting one of these or thinking about getting one of this because a lot of YouTubers, commercial YouTubers, will talk about hardware wallets and, you know, use their link to get this or get that or whatever. And, you know, yes, hardware wallets are secure, right? Nothing is perfect, right? And you have to understand that, and we'll talk about that in a second. And I'm not going to talk about actually what a hardware wallet is. You should know. If you don't know, Google it. You know, there's many different types of wallets: desktop wallets, hardware wallets, paper wallets, etc. But yeah, you know, this is something that some people get. I mean, I, for one, was one when I first started crypto. I got one of these because I got excited thinking I was going to make tens of thousands very quickly. It took me a while to get there. But the point is that, you know, a lot of people get this. But even something as a hardware wallet, guys, are targets and victims of phishing attacks. All right, and a phishing attack isn't the phishing that you kind of go for salmon or tuna. A phishing attack is something else. You can Google it again. I'm not going to talk about that, but yeah, I believe Ledger or one of them, you know, that unfortunately got hacked in terms of email. I think the email list got hacked and people got emails and they went on and they were asked for their 24-word seed phrase. And I think this is very important, right? Like it says here, you never ever give away your 12 or 24-word recovery seed phrase, right? And you're going to always get that seed phrase whenever you know, create a new wallet or whatnot. And that's very, very crucial to obviously keep, right? And keep it in a safe place, or keep multiple versions of them in a safe place. But you want to make sure you never ever give this out. And unfortunately, I think even someone in my group was a victim of this. I think it was connecting a wallet to another wallet, and they asked for his 12-word seed phrase of Exodus, and unfortunately his wallet got emptied out. So very, very important, guys, you keep, you know, store of your 12 or 24-word seed phrase and never ever give it out. But yeah, you know, getting a hardware wallet, if you're one to just sort of hold on to crypto, I mean, I know this was a pain in the ass for me. Moving crypto around was annoying. So if you're going to hold on to something, then, you know, you can consider something like this. But more importantly, guys, the point is with this is, even if you've got something like this, it's not 100% secure, right? You've got to do other things like create very important passwords. That's also a very important point right now I'll go on to. Passwords are very important. Obviously, don't be putting, you know, your date of birth or anything stupid like that, right? 1 2 3 4 as a passcode, or even using the same password for different things. In fact, actually, I'm going to refer you to this video, guys, if you haven't seen it already, or if you have, check it out again, because there's lots and lots of gold nuggets in this video, which is one of Oracle's, which is all about the ultimate crypto security guide. And actually, this video was one that really kind of perked my interest in really keeping things secure. And Oracle's got a great way of you know, securing things in many different ways. And, you know, how to create a safe password is one of them in this video. It's a great way of doing it, and keeping that password updated as often as possible as well, right? Keep them different, keep them long, keep them almost impossible to brute force through, and change them. For me, I change my passwords at least once a month, right? It might be overkill, but I'm not going to take any risks or gambles with my crypto. So you know what, if you want to get yourself a hardware wallet, you can, but there are other ways of securing your crypto as well. But regardless of hardware wallets or not, this is the important thing: never give out your seed phrase to anybody, right? And keep your passcodes and passwords as secure as possible. Now, there are things online you can buy like this. Someone sent this to me, and waterproof, fireproof, and God knows what else, right? And it's a way of writing down your seed phrases in a safe place. But, well, I mean, there are other ways of doing it. I mean, this is something probably like kind of like a gimmick, I guess. But, each to their own, right? You can go for something like this. But the main points here are: keep your passwords really, really secure, update them regularly, and do not share your 12-word or 24-word seed phrase to anybody. All right. Now, one of the most common things especially that I talk about in a lot of videos, where whether it be Yubikey or whether it be any other kind of platform, and I regularly say about keeping track of your 2FA. Right, 2FA means two-factor authentication, right? And what is two-factor authentication? Two-factor authentication is, think of it like this, right? You go to an ATM to pull out some cash. You have two forms of authentication proving you are you, and you can have access to your funds. One is, of course, holding onto your card and putting that card in the machine. And the second is, of course, knowing the PIN number for the machine, because anyone can nick your card, but they might not necessarily know your PIN code. So they won't know that second form of authentication, which means they won't get access to your funds. And in crypto, we have similar, right? And there's loads of different ways of doing it. And one of them, I think maybe one of the earliest and one of the most common, was this, right? And it was the SMS form of two-factor authentication. Now, without having 2FA, right, just relying on username and passwords is, of course, in my opinion, high risk. You want to have at least two-factor authentication, and having it set up via SMS is one way of doing it. It is more secure than not having anything at all. However, this is also something new that's come to my attention. I think it's new, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's something called SIM swap, where basically people have access, they gain access to your phone. Your phone goes down, you might not be any of the wiser to it, and once they log into something, if they brute force their way through your password and they get to that second form factor of authentication, and you get the message to the phone, but they actually receive it, well, guess what? They have access to your crypto. So even this has got holes to it, right? Even this is quite high, medium to high risk, in my opinion. The most obvious choice that a lot of people choose is things like Google Authenticator and Authenticator, and what that does is it actually, instead of having to get something sent to your phone, you have on the app what they call a OTP passcode, which is a one-time passcode, which is a 6-digit number or whatever it is, and it's going to and it refreshes every 30 seconds and changes to a completely random number. Now, with that is more secure. Okay, why? Because of course that number changes every 30 seconds and you have access to it. However, and this was something that got me thinking, and again, I referred back to this video because I think it's incredibly important to hear and watch again and again, and to remind yourself of things. Even if someone had access to your phone, right? If someone nicked your phone or SIM swap and they had access to your Google Authenticator app, and they can get through that first point, right, of your username and password, they can also go in through your Google Authenticator, right? Because they have access to your phone or app. So it got me thinking, what else can we do and what else can we get that's in the market that can kind of stop that? And that is this, right? The Yubikey. And it's made by Yubikey. And what the Yubikey is, right? And this is the one that I've got, right? I've got multiple of these. In fact, I've got a few different ones, right? And what this is, for example, you look at this one, you put it in your USB port, okay, of your computer. And once you've put in your username and password, when you go into something, and then it comes to the point where it requires your second point of authentication, instead of doing the one-time passcode thing from your phone, what you do is you press this little nifty button here, and then it generates its passcode from the actual key itself. Now, the reason why this is even more secure than what we said on the phone is, of course, of the obvious, right? Again, if your phone gets nicked or your phone unfortunately gets SIM swapped, then they can get into your programs, platforms of crypto. With this, they can't, because they physically, see this little yellow button here where it's got a Y? That's actually a button. So for you to get through, you need to physically press this button. So they can't physically press the button for you, unless of course they nick this as well, right? I mean, there's always an unless and an of course, but if you've got this in your safekeeping, and never keep it always plugged in as well for obvious reasons, but you know, if someone hacks in, if they get, you know, if they SIM swap your phone, if they know your username and password, they brute force their way through that, they can't physically be in your room and physically press that button. So this is something I've been playing around with recently. I've been spending the last couple of weeks actually really, you know, taking my security from 10 to 11 out of 10 in terms of security, and you know, this has been great, right? And there's many different ways that you can use this with. Now, for anything like you know, a wallet, right, like Exodus wallet, you can't use, you know, 2FA for, right, because that's what you got your 12-word seed phrase for, etc. But for things like exchanges, or for things like your Google account, or for many other kind of things, right, if you are into all your kind of password keep safe kind of programs, whatever they are, right, this is great. And the way to get this set up, once you've got it, all you've got to do is go to this page, click the one that you have. For example, if you've got this one, and we're going to talk about what NFC means in a minute. This is great. What this does is, if you go down this list, it shows you all the different apps, right, and programs. Like, there you go, Bitfinex, right, Shipmex is there, Bitwarden, all, and obviously not just crypto related, right? You've got Brave there. There was, what else we got here? Dropbox, Facebook, right? All these different companies that allow you to have two-factor authentication, right? Google, gov.uk, you can use the Yubikey for, right? And it's very, very, very cool and important, right? KeyPass, if you're into that kind of thing. Again, I don't. Kraken is there, LastPass, Linux, macOS, and actually this is also important as well, right? Let's go into that, right? macOS, is there a Windows one? There's probably a Windows one as well, but in case you've got a Mac, right, if you click that, now for me, I do it on many different machines and operating systems, but it's not just for programs and platforms now. You can also use it for when your computer gets locked, right? If you lock your computer, or when you start your computer up when it's cold, because you never leave your computer on all the time, obviously, right? When you start up your machine, you can even have your Yubikey set up for you to get access to your machine. You have to press the Yubikey, right? Now, obviously, the downside to this is, guys, you know, you lose your Yubikey, you get a bit screwed, right? But, and look, there's Linux, so there's macOS, and there's a Windows one as well. And yes, if you lose the Yubikey, you're a bit screwed, but you can order multiple of them as well, right? And have them all linked. So, in fact, actually, let me go back a page. Where are we? To the different types. You see, you've got things like this, right? So this is like a little mini USB thing that you keep in there permanently. Right, so let's say you've got a laptop, you can just leave it in your laptop permanently. You've got this, which, you know, can go into iPhones or Samsungs or whatever, and then you've got this, and of course you've got the USB-C version there. So you can actually have multiple of these as well if you are worried about losing them. But yeah, you know what, Yubikey has been a great addition to my security, and it's something that I really recommend you guys checking out, and you know, upping your security with this as well. So it's not just about your 12-word seed phrases, not just about keeping your passwords protected. It's also about keeping your general security of everything protected. And Yubikey, in my opinion, guys, is better than the Google Authenticator and the Authenticator. Now, I do understand you're going to say, well, hold on a minute. What about for certain platforms like Qubitek, right? Qubitek is a platform which uses 2FA, and you've got to use Google Authenticator or Authy. Yes, but the great thing about Yubikey is not just for those programs that you saw on that big list, and of course there are far more. They actually have their own Authenticator app as well, and you can have it on your desktop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this so you can see it. Here's one of them, right? So you can see I've got two things set up on this dummy account, and you can see you've got this little dot here. Now this Authenticator is just like the Authenticator that you get on your phone, right? Like a Google Authenticator or Authy. And what this does is basically the same thing, right? But it uses it in conjunction with the Yubikey. So again, that attribution where you actually physically have to press it as opposed to just having it on your phone. And this is great. You know, if you wanted to add something, let's say there's a QR code here that says set it up, well, you got to just press the plus sign. Now, of course, it's not going to work because we haven't got a QR code here, but you would click scan and it automatically finds it on your screen, scans it in and sets you up. Now, you want to unlock it, of course, you double click it and look what it says. Touch your Yubikey. You physically press it and it gives you the number. And it will, of course, after the 30 seconds, change over, just like all Google authenticators and Authy authenticators. But you have that added security to this because you physically have to press the button. So even if someone nicked your laptop and you had this on the laptop, even if they got into this program, they can't do this without your Yubikey. So hopefully that can kind of give you an idea of why Yubikey is actually a really great thing to have when it comes to your crypto, but also cybersecurity in general, right? You want to keep, I think Yubikey is a great addition to it. But I wanted to kind of throw this in there because this is also a great way of doing it with things like your passive platforms like Yubikey, right? Or, you know, like Proton Mail. Again, I've got these things set up as dummy accounts I wanted to do for the purpose of this video, but I'm actually seeing this video is going to be a bit long, so I'm not going to go into this in too much detail. But that's the Yubikey Authenticator. Now, another cool thing that I even found with this is this. NFC is near field communication, right? If you want to do it from your phone, let's say you're out and about and you've got your Yubikey Authenticator on your desktop on your computer, and you want to log on another laptop and you want to go onto Cubitech. Well, you haven't got your Yubikey Authenticator on your phone, right? Well, with this near field communicator, you literally place the key against your phone, right? As long as your phone has NFC on it as well, which most modern day phones do, and it recognizes it. It will either give you an app to download if you wanted to, or it might even just give you the 6-digit code there. Again, for me, I don't play around with my phone when it comes to crypto, but you do have that option here as well if that is something, you know, if that's something that you like, right? If you like doing things on the go. So yeah, you know what, guys, Yubikey, I know I've talked a lot about this, like I'm selling the damn thing, but I thought it'd be quite interesting because I know, you know, everyone knows about 2FA, everyone knows about the password thing, everyone knows, you know, these, but of course a lot of people don't do it, even though they might know that they should. But I think this Yubikey is actually a really cool addition to really increasing your security when it comes to your crypto, guys. Definitely check it out. If you go to, where is it, you go to somewhere like Amazon, Amazon have it, right? So you can see here, how much is it? If you're in the UK, it's 57 quid including VAT. Or look, you can buy a combo. You can buy the USB-C one, you can buy the just standard USB one, and of course the one that's like what is it, yeah, the Nano, right? And look, there's loads of other ones as well, right? Destruct and whatnot, but I wouldn't bother getting any others than Yubikey because, well, they're leaders in the market for good reason. But yeah, you know, you can check this out. What I've done just for the time being, because I don't really like keeping links like this up in my link tree, but if you are interested, you want to kind of go into this, I have added it to my link tree here. Maybe I'll keep it on here, but I'll probably throw it down to the bottom, but I'll keep it up at the top for now. If you do click this link here, it will take you to where you can buy the Yubikey. I think it's a great addition to have, and of course Ledger, if you do want to buy Ledger, you can click that as well. But really, I think Yubikey is the best thing you can invest in terms of cybersecurity. If you've got Yubikey, you don't have to use it, or if you want me to do a more detailed video on how you can use Yubikey, I can do that, which I was planning on doing in this video, but I don't want to make this video too long. I don't want to teach a chicken how to lay eggs. It is something that you should be able to work out yourself, but you know, 2FA, always very important. There are different levels of them, you do have to be aware, right? You've got the SMS form, you've got the standard Google Authenticator /Authy form, and then you've got this. Okay, this for me, in my opinion, is the superior of the three. It's the most secure, like I said, because of the physical aspect that you have to physically press the button. But yeah, I thought I really wanted to kind of put this in because, again, you know, we go back to the charts. Where are they? I hate looking at charts like this, but you know, everything's shot through the roof. People have made money in crypto, and the last thing, you know, we want to see is people's accounts getting hacked, or SIM swaps happening, or, you know, people giving away their seed phrase because they didn't realize. Anything like that. So hopefully this video has kind of helped you, or it's kind of reminded you some things, or just reminded you to kind of like increase your security somewhat, or you might know someone new to crypto, or you might be new to crypto yourself. These are just some forms. Like I said, crypto security is a massive topic. I'm not going to go into it too much more detail. I think those 3 points are very, very important. Passwords, never giving out your seed phrases, and of course your 2FA security. Very, very important aspects. The last thing actually I wanted to talk about before I do finish is another thing. Crypto security is, of course, can be as complicated as you make it. And crypto is quite complicated. For people that do not know anything about crypto, have backups, right? And when I mean by backups, I don't mean backup passwords or backup Yubikeys or anything like that only. I mean things like this, right? For example, I've sat down with my wife and I have talked her through everything that I'm involved with in crypto, whether it be from where our BTC is, from what platform I'm in, from how to get access to this to how to get access to that. I even got an old video camera, okay, one of those that you put on a tape, and we recorded a video, right, on how to do everything. And with that, we've made backups for, and we're going to make updates too, right, in different ways. And there's different ways you can do that, but the point is if something was to happen to me tomorrow, for example, and I wasn't to have a backup plan, then my wife would have absolutely no idea where to start in terms of getting the crypto out. All right, that's another thing you do have to consider, guys, and it's something that's important for you guys to make plans for. And there's a million and one ways to do it. You know, I've done it in a few different ways with different backups and different safes and whatnot. And you know, it's something to also, I think, you know, everyone should consider, because if you were to just disappear tomorrow, because we know life is an exit scam, right? Then, well, you want to make sure that your closest, your next of kin, whether it be your partner, your spouse, your kids, whatever, know how to have access to your crypto, but only your kids, and in a way that is as secure as possible. Don't do a video that's going to get uploaded to the cloud, for God's sake, or anything or anything silly like that. But anyway, I'm going to leave this video here, guys. I didn't want to kind of go into too much detail with what you can do, because again, like I said, there are many different ways of upping your security when it comes to your crypto. All I want to say is keep your security as tight as possible. You're only as strong as your weakest link. Again, I'll say the same thing. And if you want any kind of opinions from me, or you want to contact me, do join me on the Telegram groups. Again, you know, if you look down on my link tree, Telegram group is down here at the bottom. You can feel free to ask me questions there. But I hope this video has helped you out, and if it has, you know, throw it in the comments below. I'd really like to hear back from you. If you've got any suggestions for the newbies out there, guys, if any of you've got some suggestions for newbies, do throw them down below as well. But keep it as secure as possible. Don't give don't put stupid things on there. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.